Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Zebu Nation. This is Loser to Legend with Clyde FC, and today we have for you the season finale of Season 6 in Ladbrokes League 1. And all I have to say is it was a valiant effort. Let's look at the schedule. In the fourth quarter, we tried to come back from that debacle of a third quarter we had. These third 9 games that we had were just awful. So you saw us, humble ourselves in the last video, talk about how terrible we were. So we tried to come back, get back to basics, play the team that brought us here, dance with the guy that brung ya, or whatever that phrase is. And you saw us come back and beat Peterhead. Well, we gave it a heck of a shot here in the fourth quarter. As you can see, we got a lot of green going on here. But a couple of those greens are a little misleading because we threw a couple of friendlies in there to try and get some of our players a little more fit. We had a week off, so I figured there's no reason on just wasting that week doing nothing because everybody was pretty much healthy. So we didn't have a lot of injuries to recover from. So I scheduled a friendly versus good old Civil Service, and then East Kilbride just come in and get whooped by us 5-2 and 3-0. But before that, we were on very good form. You saw us beat Peterhead. We had an amazing victory, 3-2 over Wraith. The team that got demoted from the championship last season, and was supposed to be the best team in the league, but didn't turn out that way. But anyway, beat them 3-2 in a thrilling finish. We'll take a look at the goals here. And this was one of those games that gave me a little bit of a belief. We could do it. We could come back in this fourth quarter and maybe win some games. Here's Finlayson bombing it downfield. Miller has it. Lockheed to Peters. These two guys have formed an excellent bond at the end of the season here. Lockheed playing that advanced playmaker and Peterhead playing the advanced forward. Here's Peters again, returning the favor to Leach. Leach across the back post to Dallas, who heads it in. We're up 2-0. We're flying. We're thinking we're going to win this easy. But nothing is ever easy at Clyde FC, and here's Wraith on the comeback. Smith, just an amazing cross to Thompson, and there's not much the goalkeeper can do about that other than make a spectacular save. So 79 minutes, they're down 1 goal, and then just a couple of minutes later, they get a deflection, a lucky goal to tie it up, and here I am thinking, everything's ruined. 91 minutes in stoppage time, and here's Peters all by himself, sneaks one past the goalkeeper. I think there was only 92 minutes in the entire game. So that was just an amazing finish to keep hope alive. It was looking pretty good. Then we came back. We had a draw versus Forfar. That was pretty disappointing. 1-1. I thought that was another game we could win, that we could hold on till the last minute. We scored early, Josh Peters in the 29th minute, and then they came back to tie it up in the 63rd minute, and then they just shut the game down and took their draw and went home. So that threw us off a little bit. Got 7 points out of the first 3 games is pretty good, but we needed a little higher pace than that. So then we played the friendlies. And then, tragedy struck. My friends signed on, and they were like, hey, come on, let's play some games, let's have some fun, power of friendship and all that stuff. I was like, hey, don't you know I'm trying to get promoted from League 1 in the Scottish leagues? Get your priorities straight. But anyway, they convinced me to have fun and play some games with them, and I did that and turned off the save and then turned it back on, and of course we lost our 2 most important games of the season, Brecon and Aloha. We needed the victories here in these games because these were the 2 teams right ahead of us. These were the 2 teams we were we were within reach of Brecon and Aloha. And if we had won these 2 games, that would have given us 6 more points and given them 3 less points each. So that might have made a difference. It might not have. We'll look at the table at the end of the video here. But that might have made a huge, huge difference in terms of being able to catch one or both of these teams. But it just wasn't to be. Brecon, put it on us. We scored first. They came back. Then they got a penalty. And then they salted it away in the 58th minute, and there wasn't much we could do about it after that. We've had a problem generating offense in the second half. I don't know what it is about this team, but we just can't do it for some reason. So if the other team gets up on us and we don't even it up by halftime, we got troubles. And, similar thing happened to Aloha. They got up on us early, late in the first half, and then right at the end of the first half, they scored 2, which was very heartbreaking. We were able to come back in the 60th minute, but that was it. We couldn't manage anything else, and Aloha snuck out with the win. So that dampened our spirits, turned off the game again, said I'm not having that. Came back the next day, and we got a thrilling 3-3 draw versus Dumbarton. We'll show these highlights. This was another outstanding game. It was one of those games where, the season again is on the brink, and we start out with a penalty, and McKee scores for Dumbarton to puts them up 1-0. And Hoban bombs it downfield, but Davies is there, gets it up to Diver. Diver centers to Peters, and Peters just bangs it in to tie things up. We're looking good in the first half, 48 minutes. Second half, here's Dumbarton trying to come back, but Stewart, again, bombing it downfield to Diver, the target man. He crosses it nicely to Peters, and we're up 2-1, and we're thinking, all right, now's our time, we're cruising. 78th minute, though, here's a corner for Dumbarton, headed out by Davies, but back in by Duff, and just a banger off the post. So they tie it up, and then, worst thing of worse, they pull ahead here again with Dunn. That was a sneaky little shot, and I'm thinking, season over, man. Season over, 3-2, got nothing left. 87 minutes, just 1 minute later, McLaughlin bombs it downfield. Again, that man Diver making a run, chips it over to Peters. Great pass for the equalizer. And we sneak away with the draw. Now, the draw didn't help us in terms of the table, but, it helped us in terms of our pride. Came back 3-1 over Stranraer. Another great game. Stranraer is that team that we beat them quite a bit this season. And this game was no different. Scott Glover in the 2nd minute and the 62nd minute. They tied it up in the 29th minute, but we pulled ahead. And then Dakota King salts it away in stoppage time, 90+1. And that gets us our 3-1 victory. And that brought us to another banger of a game versus Airdrie. This is a team that we've also beaten this season a few times. And they came back for their revenge. And this was another really, really exciting game. We'll show the goals for this one as well. That's the one thing coming down to the end of the season like this. You got a lot of tension and the games are really tight. Everybody fighting to get in those playoffs. This is this is the way the game should be. Here's King getting forward as that poacher roll, and he smashes one past the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper just sort of left staring at air. That was a nice one. Then here's Leach again, making a play back to Stewart. Stewart forward to McLaughlin. McLaughlin plays it forward. He played a lot for us at the end of the season. Lockheed to King again. Lockheed making plays from that advanced playmaker role. Here's sort of a foul up on the back line by their defense. King gets the steal back to Lockheed. Lockheed back to King. Cross to Leach. Great passing. Great play. And we're up 3 in the first half and cruising. And I'm thinking this is another victory for us. Second half, though, they come back again. on the corners. There's Wallace. Gets them within 2. Now I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. But just 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, McLennan pass to Irving. I don't know what our defender was doing, but he wasn't looking at the ball. He wasn't paying attention. That makes it 3-2. And then just a few more minutes later, 57-minute Irving on the counterattack. Johnson pulls it into McLennan, wide open. Third goal, ties it up. Disaster has struck. I'm thinking, man, now there's no way. Absolutely no way. 84th minute, though. Lockheed again to Miller. Miller bangs it forward. King just beats the whole defense and scores off the hand of the goalkeeper to win it 4-3. Outstanding victory. That brings us to our final game of the season versus Stenhousemuir. Team that all season has been top of the league. They've been pretty good. Take a look at their senior squad. You know, this is why I got jealous of all the other teams in the league, looking at all these star ratings for these guys. 4-star, 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 3.5, 4, 4, 3.5, 4, 3.5, whatever. Lots of stars from these guys. Now, their backups, not so much. But their starters, much better than our starters were. You know, all of our 2.5, 2-star guys. So it was, you know, jealousy that was our downfall. But anyway, Stenhousemuir is a good team, whether I'm jealous of them or not. So let's get to this game, and let's see if we can finish out the season with another victory. 3 in a row, that would be nice. Gonna go with the old 4-2-3-1. Hand over the technical details. We got a lot of stuff to think about in the off-season. You know, which players are we going to bring back? Which players do we already have signed on contracts? Because we did sign a few 2-year contracts, so we got some guys coming back. Here's somebody, Darren Miller. Bringing back old man Miller. 10,000. Andy Dallas, bringing him back. Stephen Dahl, fitness coach. We got the board to give us another coach, and so we decided to hire another fitness coach just because our players were complaining about the quality of fitness coaches. That was like their one complaint about our coaching this season. Bringing back the youngster Craig Lindsay just as depth, and he's a homegrown dude, so why not bring him back? So we made a few decisions on some contracts, but we've also, you know, got some guys to think about. Guys like Cudahy, team captain, great leader, kind of outlived his usefulness a little bit on the pitch, especially as we go to more offensive formations. He doesn't really have a role in those kind of formations. He's too slow of foot. He doesn't have much offensive abilities. His, you know, what defensive abilities he have are limited as well. He's mostly, a mental guy. He's mostly a leadership guy. So I don't know how effective of a leader he's actually going to be from the bench. We're going to have to figure that out. All right. Let's see. What else we got going on? League One previews. Clyde for Stenhousemuir. Dumbarton, Brecon. Aloha Wraith. Forfar Stanrer. And Airdrie, Peterhead. Nice lineup. Kessie. Not making the mistake we made last year of leaving him off the roster and then having to re-sign him. So we're just going to re-sign him immediately. Bring him back. He played well as a reserve for us. And, he's a very, very solid third central defender. And that's good. That's good. So here we are. We're going to submit our team. Going to go with the same formation. Got lots of partnerships in the middle now. And Tony Ozzie is lacking match fitness. And I've found his problem. His problem is that he lacks natural fitness. So this guy's got to play every game or he's just not going to be fit at all. Excuse me. All right. So here's the lineup. They're going with the old 4-4-2. They got Rennie up top, who is their top goal scorer. 23 goals in 41 appearances. This guy's played every single game. Court is their captain. 19 goals, 41 appearances. Balmer on the right-hand side. He's a regen of some sort. They got a lot of regens on this squad. He's got the most assists, 15 assists, 7.31 rating. Got to watch out for him. So we know who to mark tightly on this team. For our team, Parks in goal, obviously. Stewart, Finlayson, Glover, Davies, central defense. Davies taking the captaincy. McLaughlin and Miller, they've been holding it down in the midfield. They've both been playing really well. Miller is still, he's old man Miller now, but 6.99 rating is okay. 6 assists is pretty good. 24 appearances, 10 more off the bench, so he's played quite a bit this season. 6.97 for McLaughlin, 24 appearances, 7 off the bench. Only 1 goal, 2 assists, so he hasn't produced quite as well. And honestly, we wouldn't have played him so much at the end of the season if he hadn't sort of, been begging for playing time. Leach on the left wing. This is a young guy who came on. I mean, I wanted to replace him. He's a 1.5-star dude. He's only played in 20 total games this season, but come down the end, I just couldn't replace him. Every time we brought in somebody at the left wing, they would come in and get, a 6.3 rating or 6.4. And I'd have to bring Leach in off the bench to replace him. So it's just like, might as well start giving this kid some starts. And he's got 7.25 rating, 5 goals, 6 assists. You can't beat that. And Toniazzi, not much production. Only 6 games total he played. 1 goal, 6.58 ratings. He got beat out also. So he's only here due to injury at the moment. Dallas on the right wing. Also, nobody could unseat Dallas on the right wing. 6 goals, 4 assists. 29 total appearances for Dallas. And then Peters up top. 21 goals in 29 appearances. 5 assists. 7.35 rating. He was the man for us this season. Very good. Him and King both played well. Dressing room. We've got nothing to lose here, so, yep. Show everyone how good you are. Opposition instructions. Let's close down on these boys. Close down on the wingers. Pretty standard operating procedure. Let's go. Kickoff. Oh, they got a parking garage with a couple of ambulances in it. That's good, I guess. In case anybody gets murdered, we got some ambulances nearby. Davies gonna bomb one downfield immediately. Doesn't do much for us there. It's going to be the end of the highlight here soon. As soon as we get the steal. And there's Davies sending it forward. Nope, highlight continues. Highlight ends. Okay. Alright, here's our first highlight. Finlayson gets it into Antoniazzi. Centers it. Leach back to Antoniazzi. And his shot goes wide. So he has not been impressive. For as expensive as he is, as highly rated as he is, he didn't play well. Corner from Leach. Gets it into Antoniazzi again. Pass to McLaughlin to Dallas with the shot. Deflected. Back to Miller. Deflected out. That'll be another corner from Miller. Thought that was Leach, but I forgot Miller was in the game, so he's going to take most of the corners. He sends it in again. Davies can't get there. Miller does get there, though. Peters finds it forward to McLaughlin. Looking around. Out wide to Miller. What's he going to do with it? Going to get stolen by Noble. Stenhousemuir on the counterattack. Nope. Snuffed out easily. I think that was Finlayson who did that, so that's good on him. I like to leave my fullbacks back there because they're a little bit more mobile than central defenders. And let's see what we can do. Let's win one at the end. Get one last victory to, help everybody go into next season. Maybe. Not a lot of highlights going on. I'm pretty sure I've got it on extended highlights, so. Looks like Stenhousemuir is just shutting it down. Their defense is a little nervous. Everybody's got pretty much the same rating, 6.7, 6.6. They got a couple of slightly better ratings than us, 6.8 on their defense. First half is just flying by. Alright, We're going to pause it a little bit. And I'm going to try to retain possession, work it in the box. We'll see. That sometimes works. Apparently Miller wasn't playing too well. But we're going to let him continue things on. He's got a 6.5 rating. Uh-oh. Here we go. Hill. To McKenzie for Stenhousemuir. Oh, almost got tackled there. Levine gets it forward to Rennie. He's one of their top goal scorers, but he was marked tightly, so no problems there. I mean, if that's what passes for a highlight in the first half, you know nothing's going on. Rennie's getting too much space. All right, so we'll close down on him, I guess. Here's another highlight. Levine sends it in, headed out. Ballmer gets it, and he just bombs it. Bombs it through the stone wall, so that was quite a shot. Made it out into the parking lot. Yeah. 44 minutes down, so this first half just flew by. It'd be nice for us to get a positive goal differential at the end of the season. We're sitting here right now at -1. As you can see, we're in 6th place in the table. And there's halftime. Not a lot happening. Anything analysis-wise? Miller has made a lot of mistakes today, apparently, but we'll leave him in there for now. Team talk. We owe Stenhousemuir for last time. All right, boys, this is your final effort. Let's go. Start the second half here. I think I might put Peters at poacher just to see what he can do. Peter Poacher picked a pack of pickled peppers. Finlayson, do not mess up. Parks was not quite looking when he made that pass. There's Miller going for it. Davies settles it down. Finlayson bombs it forward. Peters can't beat 4 defenders. We got to work the ball up the field, boys. I think they're just going to sit back in defense. All right, here's a corner. Miller gets it to Davies. His header goes over. Again, that's what passes for a highlight these days. McLaughlin's sitting at a 6.2 rating. He's probably going to get subbed out. Here's Miller again. Sends one in. Glover back post can't get to it, but Leach is there. Leach, yeah. That was pretty wide. Be nice if he had that a little closer to the target. But hey, nobody's perfect. All right, 60-minute point. We're going to bring in Trudeau. He's leaving us to go join the Premier League. Maybe we can get him loaned back out to us. I don't know. But we haven't played him a lot at the end of the season just for that reason, I guess. I mean, I probably would have played him more, but he just was another guy who didn't stay fit very well. He's only got 8 natural fitness. So, you know, he misses a couple games, and he's, like, out to lunch. Anybody else we want to sub out? Take a look at our new guy, Zach Elbuzetti, the Irish / what was he? What was his other nationality? Some sort of North African nationality, I forget. Anyway, we try bringing him in for Dallas. King in for Peters. You know, we could take a look at our 2 new wingers. We could bring Cammy Russell in as well. So we'll do that. We'll bring in Elbuzetti for Dallas. Bring in Cammy Russell for Leach. He likes to play inside forward, so we'll move him on the attack. And that will allow us to bring Jordan Stewart forward and get a little bit more attacking. What do you say? Let's go out with a bang here in the second half. Try to score some goals. They made a sub, but we made 3. I'm going to be more disciplined. You know, what I've noticed is that when you're a little bit more disciplined, your guys follow their roles a little bit more, especially when you play inside forward attacking fullback. And you make them play more disciplined, the inside forward will go inside more, and the fullback will attack more just because they're trying to be more disciplined, trying to follow the game plan. That's been my experience at least. Whether that's true or not, I can't say, but just from empirical evidence, that seems to be what's happened. But it's not helping. 68 minutes. Alex Ure is injured. Get out of here. They've made their third sub as well. Got a yellow card from Glover. Our defense is not playing particularly well. Peters also not playing well. 75 minutes. We'll take off, work the ball in the box. Might as well start taking some shots. We've got 5 shots, 0 on target. They've got 4 shots, 0 on target. So it's not been a great game. We got 13 fouls, so they're 8. We got a yellow card. Possession for 50-50, so neither one of us is trying particularly hard to win this game. Stenhousemuir, top of the league. They've secured promotion, so they don't have to worry about nothing. They are 6 points up on Wraith, who made significant comeback at the end of the season to get to within 2nd place. So they could still get promoted. They could still jump back up to the championship with a playoff victory. 89 minutes, 5 minutes of stoppage time. There's Peters heading it out. Irvin's going to chase it down. He's going to get it stolen by Prudhoe. Forward to Russell, one of our new men. He's not too aggressive. Millar is going to send it downfield. Peters gets a hold of it. Is he going to bomb it ahead? No, he's going to cross it. Ooh, Finlayson. Elbuzetti to Miller. Down the sideline. Finlayson on the attack. He sends it across. There's Russell with the header. Nice stop by Millar. Anytime I see Miller spelled with A-R, I call him Millar. I don't know. That's just how I've heard it pronounced. There's a comic book writer, Mark Millar. That's how I've heard it pronounced. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. Here's Russell. Inside forward, going way outside. He sends it across back post Elbuzetti. He's a little bit bigger, a little bit better jumping reach than Dallas. So he got his head on that one, but didn't quite score. 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. Last highlight, Finlayson. Antoniazzi gets it back to Prudhoe. Forward to Russell, not quite ready to make that run, and it trickles out for what should be a very, very unexciting final match. Good thing we showed all those highlights with all those goals, because this was terrible. So, we've got a lot of these guys on the team going forward next year, and they didn't excite me very much at the end of this season. So we got possible issues for next season. Anyway, I don't know. You were unlucky. Whatever. Get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it here, fast forward to the end of the season, take a look at all the final stuff for the season, and then we'll get ready for, the preseason spectacular for Season 7. Hopefully our last season. This was supposed to be our last season in League 1, but, we messed it up. Anyway, Brecken secures a playoff spot. Curtin comes down on League 1. 2.2 average goals per match. That's pretty good. Player of the day, Will Deacon. Total attendance, 4,200. Ryan Stevenson had a bad day, I guess. Final league table, we finished 6th. Not top half, so it's not quite good. But, Stenhousemuir, Wraith, Peterhead, Brecken. All the top teams stayed at the top. We received 92,000 for achieving 6th place. That's pretty good. We'll take that. That'll help put a dent in the old finances. Alright, so we're going to pause it here. And we'll come back when we got some interesting stuff to look at. So, pause. Okay, we're back. We got our season-ending emails here. Introduction to the best 11. The overall best 11. Aaron Davies was picked up. 89 appearances. Scored 5 goals for the team. Average rating of 6.85. He has joined Curry in goal. Stewart, Breslin, Morrison still there. Central defense. Cudahy, Barry, Miller. That's a very familiar trio in the midfield. Zaknovich, Dallas, and Peters up top. On the bench, we got Adam Parks is making his way into the team. McNiff, Kessie, Montgomery, Kerhay, McLaughlin, and McKinley still holding it down there as a substitute for the best 11. So that should be, pretty familiar names. Most of these guys have played within the last couple of seasons for us. Best 11, where are they at now? Vast majority are still involved in soccer, with just one player retired. Interesting. So we got, Breslin, Morrison, Stewart, Cudahy, Miller, Dallas, Daknovich, Peters, Kessie, Barry are still with the club. Jordan Manson is currently playing for Dundee. Zuba Edie plays for Mohammedan Sporting Club. McNiff and Montgomery are at Brora Rangers. Kerhay plays for Elgin City. Burbridge for Cove Rangers. Other players were Curry and McKinley. Which one retired? Curry retired at 28. The old goalkeeper. Pretty good. 131 appearances for Clyde. 161 concessions. Single medal is League 2 championship. Yeah, that's true. What's McKinley up to? Nothing. Sitting at home watching TV, wanting $7,000 to play. And we could bring him back for his leadership abilities, but nah, I don't think so. Don't think we'll need him. All right. Next up, season-ending awards. Dakota King wins the player of the season, 49%. Peters right behind him at 21%. Miller at 18%. So finally, somebody beats out Miller for the player of the season awards. Goal of the season, Lockheed versus Peterhead. Take a look at this goal. Is this one of the ones we just looked at? See, free kick to Lockheed, and there it is. Nice goal right along the ground. He hit it nice and hard. Not too spectacular. I've seen better, but anyway. Best signing of the season was Lockheed. Young player of the season was Dakota King. Let's take a look at some stats. Top goal scorer, Peters at 21. Best average rating, Peters. Most assists, Lockheed. That's pretty good for a guy who didn't play a ton of games for us. How many games did Lockheed end up playing for us? 20 appearances. I guess that's a pretty good amount. 4 goals, 6 assists. That's pretty good. Let's get back to our stats here. Best pass completions, Prudhoe. Most player of the match awards, Dakota King with 6. Most yellow cards, Miller with 10. Most red cards, Miller and Glover each with a card. Team of the season, Parks, Stewart, Finlayson, Glover, Davies, Miller, Barry, Leach, King, Lockheed, and Peters. So that should be of no surprises. Basically our lineup at the end of the season. 2022-23 season review. Let's see. Clyde had been expected to merge from a clutch of mid-table outfits to push their way into an impressive finishing position, but ultimately flattered to deceive and instead remain very much mid-table also ran. Who the heck wrote this? Mirrorfootball.uk. I don't know if I like the term flattered to deceive. Anyway. Bully, we suffered disappointing campaign, finishing shy of preseason expectations. Not true. We finished shy of mid-season expectations because we changed our expectations mid-season. So get it right. Anyway, thanks largely to a poor spell between December and January. They got that part right. And we fell to 6th. All right. So we lost in the 5th round to Rangers in the Scottish Cup. That's really good. That's the best we've ever done. Knocked out in the group stage of Betfred Cup. That's what always happens. Finished 6th in League One. Lost in the quarterfinal of the Iron Brew Cup. That's also the best we've ever done. So we had a good run in the Cups. That was okay. Match of the season, 2-1 versus Dumbarton. Moment to forget, 4-1 versus Peterhead. Yeah, they just demolished us in that game. Average attendance, 975. I think that was up from last year. I hope that was up from last year, but it's pretty close to last year. Total players used 37, so we tied our record from last year. I thought we were going to use more than we used last season, but whatever. Where are they now? We just saw that. Squad dynamics update. Look at that. Locker room atmosphere good. Leadership support excellent. So we rebounded dynamics-wise. And, that's good. So that should be helpful going into our season-ending meeting. Plan for next season. I think we can make the playoffs next season. No. I don't think... Alright, so this is from Antoniazzi. Why is he answering? I don't think playoffs is really realistic. Set the bar lower, top half. What? You don't think that's achievable? Forget you guys. Assertive? Is there anything else I can say? That wasn't the overall reaction I was hoping for, although I'm grateful for those of you who do agree with me, I guess. No, everybody hated that. Got a bunch of unambitious lunkheads on my team. I'm not happy about that. Pleased with the number of young first-team players you've signed. Okay. Loss to Brecon was upsetting. That's true. So, locker room atmosphere, they're okay with. 73%. Club philosophy, this is the job security, by the way, is 57%. Good enough to keep the job. We did sign a new contract, so we can look at that too. Club stature, 56%. Competitions, 46%. They didn't like our finish there. Transfers, fine. Matches, fine. All right. Season-ending injury, it wasn't so bad. In terms of overall injury, Mackenzie, a lot of youth players got injured, but that's not so bad. Danny Scott, Murray. I mean, our most significant injury was Andy Dallas for 3 weeks. That's not so bad. So, yeah, we were mostly injury-free this season, so we can't really blame that. Training summary, most everybody's happy. That's how it always is. When are we going to start our preseason? 4 weeks. I guess that's all we get. It's going to be rough. I guess we can run down the checklist one last time. We got the under-20s. We did have an intake. This time I took control of the youth intake because I didn't want to sign a bajillion youth players that we just were going to get rid of. So we brought in Stefan Milne, central defender, 1-star, 3-star, possibly 4-star potential. Okay physicals, really nice mentals. Aggression, decisions, determination, positioning, teamwork. Not good technicals, but he's only 16, so hopefully he can get better. Let's see, who else did we bring in here? Campbell, Kevin Campbell, right/left defender. He's going downhill right now because he's injured, but sort of the same boat as Milne. Okay physicals, decent mentals, not so good technicals. Just to be expected at 16 years old. Kenny Quinn, the striker. Basically, I brought this guy in because he played well in the youth game, the intake game, where the youth team the under-20s team plays against the potential intakes, and he had a good game. He scored a couple of goals, so I thought, why not sign him up? Again, decent physicals, okay mentals, terrible technicals. Seems to be a trend here. And we signed Ronan McCullough, 1-star, 16 years old. not good physicals, pretty good technicals, flair, teamwork, lots of teamwork, vision, work rate, technique. This guy's got a potential to be somebody who can at least pass the ball. So first touch of 8, he can get better there, passing of 8. Just gain a couple of points there and you're an okay dude. We brought him in. Then who else? I think that's about it. Sean Kerr, I think is our last guy, left midfielder. Brought him in again because okay physicals, nice speed, 13 pace, 15 acceleration, really good mentals, 18 determination. This kid is driven, so he might be able to make something out of himself. His technicals are awful. 4 technique, but they're going up already, I guess. Long throws of 1. So anyway, just brought him in because he looked sort of interesting, but that's it. We only brought in those 4 guys, I'm pretty sure. Everybody else is like 17, 18, 19, 20. So there we go. There's our under 20s finances. Not so good. We ended £415,000 in the hole, but we've got like £200,000 of payroll we don't need that we could just donate to the board, and they could take that back and cut that balance in half. Anyway, the board, job security, we looked at all of this stuff, right? Yeah. So philosophies was the one thing I wanted to take a look at. Very pleased with how you're performing. Keep up the philosophies. First team youngsters. Delighted with the number of youngsters. Develop youth players. Reserve judgment. Okay. I still don't know how they determine whether they like your youth system or not. Anyway, we'll see. Club-wise, everything is pretty much the same. Ronan McCullough is now our hot prospect. 16-year-old advanced playmaker. That's interesting. Key player is now Antoniazzi. Vice Captain Davies, Captain Cudahy. See how long that works out. Take a look at the general news. Cudahy, McKinley, Dakota King is now on the list. Miller is still an icon. So that's interesting. Dakota King gets on the list for being player of the season, I guess. Voted by the fans. Transfers, we looked at all those transfers. Oh, we do have somebody coming in. That's right. We got a couple of guys going out. Jack Breslin got signed by BSC Glasgow. So, I mean, we kind of fell out of favor with him. He was a versatile dude for us, but, like, I don't know, basically get out of here. Prudhoe, we saw him getting signed by Hearts. And we've already signed somebody from Forfar. Jordan Sinclair, defensive midfielder. Can play Carolero, apparently. Left-footed. Nice stamina and fitness, so this guy isn't going to run out of gas. Pretty average mentals, although he's got nice work rate. Pretty average technicals, but he's got nice tackling. So he's going to be sort of our tackling machine at defensive midfielder or at midfielder should we need him. So another midfielder that we added. Got a ton of midfielders. Let's see. Anything else we need to look at? I don't particularly think so. Take a look at, finally, our coach. Haven't improved much this season. Attacking is 10. Tactical is 10 now, so there's an improvement. Lots of 9s. 8 for youngster knowledge, so everything else is pretty much the same. We got our new contract here. Exactly the same contract as we had before. 1-year deal, £50,000. So there we go. We are at Clyde for another season. And that'll be season 7. So we will see you for the preseason spectacular. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
There's a team they call the Clyde, who will fill your heart with pride. Dressed up in the red and black, we an L sign on the back. They've a winger and a keeper and a great big carpet sweeper. It's